Throw me the idol. No time to argue. Throw me the idol. I throw you the whip.
Give me the whip.
Adiós, señor.
In my opinion, that symbolizes trading perfectly. All right, guys. What a crazy week we had, and to all newcomers, we had an absolutely brilliant week. What we did was just to kind of recap here. Longed on Monday these lows, and obviously we had an absolute ripper of a week. Now coming into this week, there are bears all over the internet absolutely self-convinced that we are about to put in a top. And do I disagree or agree with them? Neither, because that's not what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to, even though my price targets have hit, namely QQQ 432 was my max, and we went even higher. So, you know, those price targets were from late October, early November, and we're still chugging. So that brings us to my super max, which is 507 on SPY, and I'm starting to also see the number online, which is obviously the next target. Now beyond that, we'll have to see. We have a interesting situation this week, however, on these indices, where we have seasonally bullish a seasonally bullish time period for the Dow Jones and IWM. So I would not be surprised if we get some type of rotation. There's nothing bearish about these charts, and that's how it is. They're really pumping. They're flying, rather. Would I expect to see 507? Yes. There's a school of thought here that CPI is a gap and crap, or just a crap, and there's nothing wrong with assuming that, and we got to prepare for both. That's obviously the big catalyst this week, pre-market Tuesday. But there's also Vixpiration on Wednesday, and Vixpiration, they can either send the VIX or they absolutely crush it, and it has room to be crushed. And then we also have OPEX on Friday, and I would think if we push higher this week, we're going to start what I'd say is a 3-week pullback. Now, where's that pullback going to be? Well, those of you who have traded with us for a while know that the importance of the FOMC announcement price, which is obviously now at 487.40. And the significance of this level is the same significance 464 had. All right. And what do I mean? I think we are going to pretty much do this again, where you had FOMC, we had the rally, just like we've had the rally. Okay, and this is kind of what I'm going to be tracking now, because I think I found another pattern. You know me, Rain Man style. This is CPI. Okay, then we had this choppy, we were just chopping. Okay, this would be OPEX down, and then we chop up again. Or actually, this might be Monday or Tuesday. We'll see how the count goes. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday after OPEX is usually the low. But then we start a little bit of a descent here. And look how the price came back to the FOMC announcement price level, and then we had this ripping rally. So I think we go a little higher. And especially if we go to 507, even better, because then we have room to come all the way down to this FOMC price, okay? And the longer it takes, the better. But if we can see, you know, either end of February or early March, I would love end of February, somewhere around here, I would buy that. I have a fractal that supports that, and obviously the sports calendar also supports this with a high mid-March, which would be or February, which would be this week coming up, then some choppiness, dead cat a little bit down, and then you see what happens. Okay, now a lot of these dips this year and also next year have not been huge dips, they have been time chop. Okay, so how do you play that? Well, you scalp with the GEX, and then obviously keep an eye on rotation. Now last week, obviously the best trade, second best trade I've ever had, you know, was percentage wise was Riot. And I kind of want to go back and look at this, where I got it and why. It was Wednesday, I believe, here, we were here. And this correlates with Bitcoin. And we can go back to Wednesday on Bitcoin. Here. So Bitcoin's starting to take off after consolidating for a long time. So of course I'm going to play it. I bought Riot 12s because we were close to 11 at 7 cents. They ran to $2.50. And you can imagine the gains. All right. Are we going to keep Bitcoin on watch? Well, yes. I would think that we, at this point in time, have a good chance at breaking here. And why are they doing it? Well, if you look back, this is the IPO thing where everybody got bagged, and then they made sure to catch everyone off guard. People were hamming in. They wanted them to buy HODL, you know, Bitcoin's going to the moon, and everybody got bagged in true fashion. So this is a cup. Let's see if the cup goes, if we get a pullback with a handle. So Riot, keep it on watch. Why? Well, if you compare the Bitcoin chart, that kind of already, there's the top. 49, we're at 47 and a half. We can still go higher on Riot. Maximum price target here would be 18, 19, and we're at 14. So keeping that on watch next week, I think they're gonna have strength and financials. Which brings me to this gap on KRE. I think for CPI, if CPI is a move above, KRE can get absolute $3 sticks on CPI. Here's a great example from 48 to 41 and a half, and next day continuation. So this was a huge move that we caught. I'm looking to do the same. That's why I'm in these 51s. So let's see. TLT, same type of thing. The 10-year yield has rejected from this area before. If it doesn't, the markets, or when it goes through here and goes to the 89 or past these two party lines, the market's gonna drop. So this is why the CPI setup is pretty complex. We might not get the biggest move on SPY or QQQ, but these guys have room to pop. For instance, TLT could easily go from 93 all the way up to 96, just like this CPI here. We ran quite a bit from 94 to 99. So I'm in those both. Those are kind of my CPI lotto plays because they're so cheap and the contracts can absolutely explode. Now on Friday again, I said when you trade SPY, you have to keep an eye on Apple and you have to keep an eye on JPM. And remember, we got that crazy Apple candle that we caught for 250%, and then it died. And then I said, if they push JPM to 175 here, we're gonna go again, which we did. Coinbase, we were in the 130s, what a play, and even 135s. Didn't have good action on Friday, but that's okay. They're kind of, I looked at the premiums, so this could have a move next week. And obviously Coinbase has earnings. Can Coinbase get back up here? I mean, would 180 with a ripper of a week and earnings beat be impossible? No. Can it go down to 100? Yes. So I'm looking for Coinbase to move up to $40 this week. So let's see what it does after CPI, because then if they start a run up on Coinbase and they run it to those levels, if Bitcoin's going, we could catch an earnings run up, because I don't want to really play any earnings this week. You've seen how they've reacted, completely bipolar. Some rip like crazy and some are complete whipsaw shit shows, okay? And obviously if you're scalping, keep an eye on the tick and keep an eye on your 5-minute SPY candles as per usual. Germany did bounce in to close and then we ripped, so I'm looking for Germany to bounce a little bit come Monday. And on Monday I will post the range of the week, and depending upon if we go up or down first, I will be long. If we go down first or keep steady, we'll know our levels. I mean, longing for 41 on Monday and Tuesday paid handsomely when we were longing in the money. That worked so good, and I'm looking, and I did that the prior week with 485s, and this week with 491. So I'm gonna keep doing that until it doesn't work. And I've been trading like this for months now. I will keep doing it until it doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, I'm not going to cry about it, because I have accumulated quite nice gains. Now, I gave a price target of LRCX 900 this week, which seemed, when we were here on Monday, you know, and Tuesday we were in the 820s. It seemed quite ridiculous. And obviously I sold at my price target 900, and then we kept going some more. So these chips are moving, and when people speak about a bubble and this and that, I mean, Nvidia is now supposedly bigger than the Chinese stock market. So a bubble in which way? We're moving the world into a completely AI controlled, you know, every human's going to be monitored, you know, say goodbye to your autonomous freedom type of world. So why would it just miraculously tank? Can it go, you know, if I had told you, let's just play a game. If I had told you on Tuesday when we were at 662 that we're going to 720 in 3 days, what would you have said? And here you see we held that Friday close candle, boom. Same thing applies. If we hold this level or this level this week, there's no reason why this doesn't go to 800. I mean, I think they're going to pump this to 1,000 possibly, or 900 into earnings, and then say they're going to do a stock split if the market holds up. Okay? So a lot of Palantir calls coming in. We'll see if that pays out. DWAC, I said I would go over the play. Well, you have, let me list it here. Hold on. You have Super Tuesday, which is March 5th, being the big day, right? So that is what we're going to play. We're going to play some end of next week if there's a Supreme Court thing on Friday. And then you have, is it Michigan is actually the week after, and we're going to play that as well. So there's plenty of catalysts, but we'll wait with this until end of the week, because in the beginning of the week there's no catalysts for this. Netflix, still flagging. I mean, this is huge, and I know Roku has earnings this week, so this would be the sympathy play to Roku. Okay, Unity, if Unity goes this week with IWM, then the shitty stocks price target is 37. Okay. I don't know why that VRVP keeps doing this. It's super annoying. I gotta do this every day. But I'll show you where that's the volume profile. But then I go in here and I change the row size to 184. It makes it a little clearer for me. But you can see it's consolidated here. It has room. That's one level, and then that's one level, and boom, there you go. So price target could even be 38.45 if it goes, because of the MAC or the MA cross there. I like the MACD. You got a daily cross, beautiful. UPSD, we traded this really nicely this week. We caught a firm run up, scaled a lot right there, and obviously it dumped, but it came back, so we got out 45% on the runners. This has now made a cup. This has earnings on Tuesday. Now the contracts are juiced, so let's see what happens to them post CPI. I don't even know if I'm gonna play earnings on this, honestly. The contracts kind of look like a firm where it's crazy IV whipsaw, just like you saw on a firm here. Absolute craziness, and then you can play the comeback and whatever. So we'll see. Maybe we take some out of the money. Maybe people are not thinking this can go to 44, but it can. No idea. This is a complete shit show stock. But you also have that daily MACD cross here, and it can go, especially if they rotate into them. SoFi, I'm in this for the 9s this week. Same type of setup here. Shitty stocks look prime again. We'll see what happens. Not trading Tesla except scalping it. Caught some good plays on it. Carvana hit that 53 that we were in. Actually a pretty decent mover on Friday off of lows. Apple, I don't know what this candle was, some type of rotation, needed to pop SPY, but obviously we're in here, sold right there. Beautiful move. Never came back with the contracts. So this is primed next week. If they push the market to go to 190 again, maybe even goes and tests the top of this range. If we get here on Apple to this trend line, I would jump out of calls. It's very unlikely that this goes through here right now. So that kind of signifies the market being very toppy. And for the first time in a long time, I think we could actually put in a top, short-term top, you know, for 3 to 4 weeks this week. So then we kind of have to look at our trading style for a few weeks and see what it is we are doing. All right. As far as these dark pool prints, this is now the level also to mark in 498.4. Under 498.4 we will retrace, and you can see here that's exactly where that volume shelf is. That's why I use volume shelf. That's a huge dark pool print level, just like these here. Okay. And to keep it nice, short and sweet here, I just want to show you that there's a ludicrous amount of calls again. Absolutely ludicrous. And look at the convergence on Friday here, and then it turned green. So still in some calls. This 501 gamma level is giant, so as long as that keeps holding, we go higher. Okay, I know it's a little like, are you serious, dude? But yes. And I take pride in not buying any puts since November except for a few hedges, okay? Because I know how people have been bagged hard, and it sucks when that happens, because you know, bears are wrong, and then they dig themselves deeper. You got to keep an open mind and not get married to an idea. But again, I'll post the range on Monday, and we'll know better. This week, let's quickly go through this week so you get an understanding. Monday, we have these auctions have given a pop, so looking to do that. If we have an IB session where we go up and then we retrace for a pop here for the market to turn here, then you got Qashqai. Then you got UK employment data. Tuesday, you got CPI pre-market, so we need to be positioned for that. Small, I already went over my plays for it. Gonna size down and beat 95% cash, because if we catch a move on, let's say KRE or TLT or whatever, or SPY, they're gonna juice those contracts pretty nice. Then you have more UK inflation rate. Now keep in mind, Germany's inflation rate was the same and they stayed flat, so don't discount that as a possibility. We just don't know, we gotta react. Then on Wednesday, you get your usual EIA, you get another auction, you get Japanese data after hours, yada yada yada. Thursday, we get retail sales and jobs. You get some New York data, Philly data, pre-market, and then we got actually a lot of data during the market hours here. Whoa. Okay. And Friday, you have PPI, which is a market mover as well. And you have OPEX. And OPEX is notoriously choppy and just premium killing. But let's see if they pay out the puts or the calls or drain either. So Friday, barring news, is probably going to be a shit trading day until it isn't. Because we've had a few OPEXs here where we've had a crazy move end of day. The Dixie, let's look at that daily again. It's now holding here on the 89, which I don't like, which signifies that it could go higher. So that works against the market. However, if you look at this pattern, if this is not it, we could still come down, but it could maybe retrace to the 200 here. I don't know, maybe it wants to come down here and then go. Keep an open mind this week is all I'm saying. IWM, huge strength on Friday. And let's see if this carries into the week here and gets us up here. Okay, that's my best assessment right now of this whole market. Let's see if we have, hold on, let me just check one thing here, if this is updated. As you can see, Dow Jones has incredible strength right now. But let's check the NAMO, if it lets us. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I saw on Twitter again that a lot of people was like, oh, it's got bearish divergence, the market's gonna fucking drop. And I'm like, yo, I always keep, look at that, that is fucking bullish. It's at 14, can go to 70, so I say go to 70, bro. Do it this week. Absolute fucking reaper would be absolutely splendid. So as you can see, the contracts I'm looking at, with a small amount of money you can make a lot. And it's always, you know, as I say, I pay myself every Friday when possible, and don't fall in love with your account number. You got to fall in love with making money in whatever the market's doing, and I think we've done an absolutely extraordinary job as of late. So let's keep it going into this week. All right, guys, love yourself, love your family, and God bless. See you Monday.